Welcome back to Dubbzi Bricks for another episode of Building Gotham City in Lego. In the last update, I worked on the docks area here, lowered it all down by about 4 bricks and extended it all the way back to the raised platform area there. Reason being, we found that this was a wasted space behind here. We weren't doing anything, it was hard to reach to, and I wanted to see how the Joker's Funhouse would look in this section. It didn't look good. If you missed the last video, it was just way too big and yeah, wasn't happy with it. I was considering bringing the railway track this way. However, again, it didn't look right. It was too close to these structures and I think it would have made these structures look small. So yeah, we'll scrap that idea. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the roller coaster pieces out and we're going to go over to Ace Chemicals over there and see if there's any way of putting the roller coaster up on that structure or around that structure. That's the first plan. If that fails, what we will then look to do is to build a new structure in this area just here for the Joker with the roller coaster on there. But again, not sure whether or not it's going to fit, but only time will tell. So let's get those roller coaster pieces out, go over to Ace Chemicals and see what we can come up with. And here we have our roller coaster track, or the majority of it. We're missing 2 parts. I don't know what's happened to those, but we'll find them. What I'll do is I'll just connect a piece of normal plate between the two, just so I know that it all connects up, and then I can swap it over later on. And I did also manage to find 2 of these the other day as well, which is good. I can now get the road sorted here and here. When I did this in the video, I did mention that I wasn't sure about the look of it. It didn't look quite right. So hopefully now by curving off the corners, that will make it look a little bit better. Now I was going to take the structure over to my table and do it over there. However, I thought if I do it here, at least I can see how it looks in the city as I go along. So without further ado, let's try and work out how we're going to attach the roller coaster to Ace Chemicals. So I just need to decide on which way round to have the roller coaster. And I feel like this would probably be the best way round. I could wrap the roller coaster so it's going round 2 of the chimneys there. I would need to remove this end one, but I could do it as if the Joker's snapped it off or destroyed it just so he can get his roller coaster in place. And it would be about this high up. I'd have it so people would board the roller coaster from here. The only downside to having it this way round is you would see the chain and all the mechanics for the roller coaster from here. But again, that may very well just add a little bit more character to the build. If I were to do it the other way around, like so, I just don't think, I can't work out how I'd do it where it would look as good. So I think I will remove this chimney, put it that way round and just see how it looks. So we can easily turn it back if it doesn't look right. And there we have the roller coaster all in place, and I think it's going to look really good once it's all done and fixed in place. Still need to do a fair bit of work to the end of this structure here. I have ordered the window pieces in black and they should be arriving very, very soon. The order has been dispatched. I do want to change the look of the front bit of the builder there as well. I've come up with a new idea for that, which I think is going to look really good. So hopefully we'll be able to achieve that. I need to put some steps going up to the top of that structure there so that people that are getting onto the roller coaster can do so. It's a shame I've lost the 3rd chimney, but I think it was necessary to do so. But I am going to raise the roller coaster up by probably about another 1 or 2 bricks, just so I can put the base of the chimney back in place. So it does look like the Joker has really gone to town on this structure to make it his fun house. The Ace and the Chemical sign, I think I'm going to go for those in red. And I am still thinking about a new style for the Ace sign at the top there, as I really want to have it so that it glows or lights up. So I might be using some trans red pieces possibly. I'm going to be experimenting with that in the near future to see how it comes out. I've got this idea in my mind. It's just transferring over to the brick. But yeah, it's plenty of work now to be done with this structure, as I need to get the attachment points exactly where they need to be. And they're going to be on 3 separate modules. So whenever I'm moving this, I'm going to have to disrupt the roller coaster a fair bit. So I want to try and make it that it's very easy to remember exactly where all the supports go in place. So let's take the structure over to my table and start attaching the roller coaster permanently in place. And the fun and games really have begun with this. It's going to be quite the challenge getting this all attached so it's nice and firm. And I'm probably going to involve a bit of technique as well, I feel. At the moment, I'm just using these pre-moulded pieces and I really like the look of them. And I think they do add a lot to the build. Being the gunmetal colour as well is another different shade to have on there. But we are going to need to change a fair bit of the structure This part here, for example, is overhanging the roof section by one stud. So I think I'm actually going to build this office or viewing platform out over the wall a little bit. It's something I was originally going to do and then I never ended up doing so. So I think that is one amendment we're going to make. I wanted to amend the front of this anyway, so I'll do that all at the same time. Now, with some of the supports, such as this one here, it is completely overhanging. I don't particularly want to go all the way down. So if I can have something at an angle, that would be ideal. And I could also incorporate it into the roof section on here as well. With all of these supports at the back, I think I want to have something going this way as well. And like this one here, it'd be nice to have something connecting all the way across. Just need to make sure that it's going to work okay due to the fact that these are separate modules. I want to make it so it's easy enough to detach. But when we come up to this part here, this is when it's going to get really interesting. This one I can attach into the building. That's no problem at all. This one up the top here, I can do two separate parts coming up and then connect it that way. So it'll be two towers going up. But this one, I've got no idea where I'm going to attach that one to. So yeah, we're going to have to get creative with this. It was quite the challenge doing it on the previous funhouse I made. So doing on this one is going to be even more interesting due to the fact we got those chimneys in the way there. And the chimneys are a little bit higher now due to the fact that I've lost a chimney. I had the extra pieces, so I've just added them to this one here. But without further ado, let's start removing the roller coaster track and making the necessary amendments to this structure. And made a few amendments to the look of the build here. So we've gone over to the dark bluish grey on the front here. I've extended the size of this build here and also brought it out. But the one thing I've decided I'm going to do now, before I go any further, is actually start putting the lights into here. I hadn't done it previously as I wasn't sure what I was going to be doing, what's going where on the build. However, I do know that I want lights in this room here, for example. We're going to want lights in here. So I might as well get all of the wireless connector boards all in place. And I'll probably put a wireless connector on the top here, so it's got power going to sections above as well. This will be a removable roof on here in case I want to get in here to put any minifigures or any other details at all. But it's just going to take a little while to get that all sorted. And we'll be tiling off the top of this section here eventually with light bluish grey. So I need to change out the dark bluish grey underneath these macaroni pieces. Now, I do need to find some tiles out for going on here. And ideally, I'd like to bring these windows up by one stud so you can actually see the bottom of the window frame and it's not hidden behind a tile. So the only problem I've got here is the plate that I need. I've only got half circles. I haven't got any quarter circles. So I'm not sure what the best thing to do is. I could fit them side by side inside if I extend the window by 2 studs. So that's just something else I've got to bear in mind. If I do that, it is going to make the structure a little bit wider, but that won't be the end of the world. So I just need to decide upon that whilst I'm making the amendments to the build. And there we have the structure widened by 2 studs, and the trans red studs on the floor mean we've actually started the electrics in here. I got a whole load of these off the pick brick wall, and I just use them all the time now for hiding the wires. You can actually put the wire just underneath the 1x1 stud, so it's not actually pinching it, and it keeps everything perfectly in place. So on the bottom of the build here, we have got one of the wireless connectors, and this is my favourite part that you can purchase from Game of Bricks. There's another part to this which will be on the floor below. As soon as the two connect to each other or touch each other, you've got electricity going from one floor to the other. So it's a real game changer when it comes to lighting up your modular buildings, as it means you don't have to connect 2 wires together from floor to floor. You can easily remove a floor without that problem. So from that wireless connector, that's going all the way to behind this brickwork just here, and that's the connector board that is connected to, which you can see popping out the top. There's a light just under that stud just there, which will light the floor below. So that wire again is coming back and under here connected to it as well. Then the third plug on the connector board, we have got this connector cable just here. And what I've done here is I put it through a headlight brick, 3 1x1 cylinders, a 1x1 plate, and then it's into a snot brick. That snot brick, the top of the snot brick is actually connected to this Technic brick, which is keeping everything in place. And now I can just put some more 1x1 cylinders coming up the wall here, and that will hide the wire completely. So it's a good way of hiding all the wires and giving it a real industrial look within the build. So really pleased with how that's come out. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to carry on building this structure up, get this all tiled off in light bluish grey, leave some spots ready for the roller coaster supports, and then we can make a start on actually attaching the roller coaster supports to the build. And here we have the front section of the roller coaster in place, and I think I've got to amend it once again. I think this is about the 6th or 7th attempt at getting the roller coaster in position. I want to try and keep the track central or evenly spaced out either side of this structure in the middle here. The problem I'm having with that is when I get to the back here, the track's wanting to hit the building at the back here, or it's too close to the chimney, so it's hitting, at the moment the cart would hit the bottom of the chimney stack there. So it is a case of just trying to work out where the best place is, the right height for it as well. So yeah, just got to carry on experimenting, and hopefully it's not going to take too much longer to get this all attached, because so far I have spent hours just trying to get this little task completed. And here we have numerous supports for the roller coaster, and I thought a lot of supports on here would look better for the build, giving it that more crowded look basically, which I'm really pleased with. So there we've got those all in place, and we've got the stairs just through there, which are going to lead up to the top of the build here. Now at the moment we're about I think it's about 2 bricks higher than the building, which I don't mind. I need to have a platform on here so people can get onto the roller coaster. And from here, as you can see, it's going to be pretty much the right height by the time I've finished. Just need to move this support over by 1 stud. As you can see, it's not centre at the moment. And fortunately, there is 1 stud further over that part can go. But what I need to do now is just try and work out where I'm going to be attaching that one and that one just there. I haven't got a foggiest where I'm going to do that one at the moment. The one that connects up here will be built into this wall, so I just need to remove a few bricks there, build it into there. And again, when it comes to taking this to a convention, I have to disconnect the entire roller coaster track so that I can take each module separately. So yeah, this roller coaster is going to be quite awkward taken from place to place, but it's still great fun, all of these challenges. I still need to find out the last part of the track here. I've put a plate on here just to connect everything together so I know everything is perfectly lined up. But I've searched through all of my boxes of Lego and I cannot find it. So it will pop up one day, I'm sure, but yeah, really frustrating. I did have a red piece that Craigster sent me from Brickstage Pass for where the tongue was on the original one. And again, that one's missing. So wherever that one is, the green one is as well. So yeah, we'll have to have another good search later. And here we have the next section of the build to go on the very top. And I put the image on the screen now of what we're using for inspiration. And it's not exactly the same as it, but it's, as I said, the image is just purely to give me ideas of how I want it to look like. So I'm going to put some more of the double cheese wedges down here, similar to what's on the lower section. And I need to order in a whole load of the macaroni pieces to come up the front here. I would have done them in tan, so it was all the same colour. However, they don't do them in tan, so I thought dark bluish grey. This little bit here, detail, is very similar to the floor below it. So that's why I've gone for it looking like this. Now there are some wires inside here, so I can put any lights I like on the top of this eventually. And I have put one headlight brick here. There is one on the other side, but it's covered up by the platform now. And I'm going to have a green light coming on there shining upwards if I can do so. So I just need to wait for my next order from GOTHAM Bricks to arrive. I have ordered some green lights, I believe, in that order. And this is the platform for getting onto the roller coaster. So let's pop this up the top now and just show you what it's looking like. So we've got the steps at the back there. So I just need to extend this platform over by a couple of studs on there. But when we step back, that's how it's going to look. So yeah, just need to do the details on the platform ready for the roller coaster and find a bit of tracking. But let's go around the other side and I'll show you what's looking like from around there. So here we have the latest section on top of Ace Chemicals looking from the other side. And I'm loving how this is coming together. The subtle changes here and there, like building this section out, overhanging just by one stud, just makes so much difference. It's just the shadows that are coming down to the build below on there. Now I still have to work out where I'm going to put the remaining supports. There are some really awkward ones that I've got to work out how to do it. We've got one just here, one below it, and there's one just there as well. They are going to be quite a challenge. So I've decided I'm just going to take a step back and have a good think about it. With the Ace Chemical sign on the top there, again, I haven't bothered putting the old one back up as I want to do a lot of work with that. I want to have it in red and I want to have it so that it is actually lighting up, not spotlights going on there. So that's something that I'd ideally like to build, which is what I'm going to be tackling in the very near future. Anyway, that's all we have time for. I hope you've enjoyed this update. I haven't got as much built as I would like to because I've spent so long just trying to get the roller coaster looking exactly how I want it to. And even that, I haven't finished the supports on there. Anyway, as I said, hope you've enjoyed the update. If you have, please remember to give us a big thumbs up. If you're watching on your mobile, if you could hit the hype button, it would be appreciated. If you know anybody else you think could be interested in building Gotham City Lego, if you could share the channel for them, that'd be fantastic. And if you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel. Anyway, thanks for walking by. Until next time, bye for now.